What's up, everybody? Welcome to podcast. Now, I'm Alex. In this video, I want to talk about when we will get the Ghost of Tsushima release date, or literally as a question of when are we going to be getting this release date. Now, I've made a couple of videos on Ghost of Tsushima in the past on this channel, and I really do enjoy talking about it. The reception from you guys really like watching these. These are very good performing videos on the channel, and this is a game that I'm just super interested in and can't wait for it to actually come out. Sucker Punch, in my opinion, has a lot to prove with this game. We're going to be covering it so much once we actually, kind of get closer, once maybe we even know a release date. I'm sure we'll do a community series and we'll be talking all about the game. And the question is, when is that actually going to happen? Now, really, what's gone on in this fall period is exactly what was kind of talked about in leaks and in previous kind of just like industry people that know things. They've kind of predicted this fall in terms of The Last of Us, in terms of Sony in general, and Ghost of Tsushima. I know the technical, the leak that said about the whole state of play in November where we get The Last of Us release date and Ghost of Tsushima won't be, like that whole thing. Oh, obviously that wasn't necessarily, or at least 100% true, right? Because obviously state of play was late September 24th, I believe. So that was obviously off. But for the most part, everything about, what's been going on is still kind of going according to plan. Jason Schreier in the past had said, that The Last of Us was originally supposed to come out this fall, but was internally delayed, kind of pushed because they weren't done yet. And it was probably going to come out in February, and that turned out to be true. That's, again, also what the leaks were saying. And the leaks also said that we wouldn't get a Ghost of Tsushima kind of discussion or a talk about it from Sony until another event of theirs in the spring. So, and going into the spring, Sony's got a lot to do, and there's going to be a lot of things happening in the springtime. Like, yeah, we got The Last of Us, and that's going to be incredible. There are a couple of Final Fantasy VII, technically. There's a couple Sony exclusives. There's a couple things that they still have coming out, but really, it's like, this is it. It's the ramp up to PS5, and then you still have Ghost of Tsushima there. Whatever Sony manages to do in the spring, you gotta, it's tough. Do they do an event in February or March, just like they did with the PS4, where they announce it, they talk about it, and then E3 is like the full, big scale thing? Do they do that again? And if they do, and it sounds like, again, from industry insiders, that is going to be what they do, that's when Ghost of Tsushima would be talked about. Now, at this point, it really does seem like, and we talked about it, there was a rumor that Ghost of Tsushima could be a dual release. It could come out on PS5 and PS4 in the fall of 2020. I can't think that it would come out at any other time but then. Firstly, there's no way this game slips past 2020. If it goes into 2021, you got to seriously question, I guess I wouldn't say doubt, that too, but you really have to say, like, what's Sucker Punch doing? I don't see this game, I really don't see this game coming out anywhere before it. I think, again, the plan all along, or what they wanted to do, was have this game come out in 2020. I think the plan all along, from Sony even, was The Last of Us was supposed to come out in the fall of 2019, and then Ghost of Tsushima would come out in the spring of 2020. I think that's what they had designed. I think that was supposed to give PS4 its swan song of, like, hey, here's Naughty Dog, the greatest developer that we have, and one of the best, if not the best developers of all time. We're going to give you The Last of Us Part 2, and then in the same year as the PS5, but in the spring, far enough away from it. From Sucker Punch, they've been working on this game for a very long time. Yeah, they disappointed people with Infamous Second Son, but you know them, you love them from Infamous 1 and 2, Sly Cooper. Here's Ghost of Tsushima. Let's see what it's got, and this is going to be our big spring game. And then in the fall, with the PS5, we have other things planned already. I think that was the plan, but as it's gotten closer and closer, and here we are, probably less than a year at the point that you guys are watching this video, a year or slightly less than, we're going to get the next generation of consoles, and time is ticking. And so I really don't think Ghost of Tsushima makes that first 6 month of 2020 time period. I really don't. I feel like the way Sony does things, yeah, like The Last of Us has been kind of a tale of two different stories. Like, it's very secretive, and for as long as we've known about it, we haven't seen all that much. And at the same time, they do show us stuff. They do talk about it, they do show it, and every so often, from their own scheduling, they give us a wave of Last of Us Part 2 info. Now, I get it. It's like the biggest game ever. The first game sold 20 million copies. This game is probably going to sell 20 million copies, if not more. It's going to be the biggest PlayStation exclusive probably of all time. Like, I understand. I get like it makes sense. Ghost of Tsushima is not that. So I wouldn't expect them to do literally the exact same thing. But up until this point, we've seen one gameplay presentation that like 7-8 minute, the thing you guys are watching now, 7 to 8 minute demo from E3 of 2018. That's it. That's the only thing we have of this game. And then we have the trailer, the initial, like the first, reveal trailer. That's it though. Besides that, there's really nothing. And I just feel like if this game is going to come out in the spring, if you're trying to argue against me and say, I really think it could come out, June or earlier, it's like, I feel like a game like that, you need to show us more. You need to talk about it more. You need to show us. You need to show it to us a lot more. I get like being secret with your games, and I get not showing stuff for the point of spoiling it, or just the fact that like, hey, we the game's special, and we think it would just overall come off better to you if we didn't talk about it or show you all that much. Like, I get that. In fact, I want that from The Last of Us. I kind of wanted that with Death Stranding. I think Death Stranding and The Last of Us, at this point, Death Stranding has shown us too much. Even though I get, like, you could show us 20 hours of that game and I still wouldn't understand it. The Last of Us is right at that, like, brink. Like, I don't want to see anymore. And, like, I know, you don't have to watch it. You don't have to actually click on the videos when they pop up on YouTube. Like, I get that. But for the channel purposes and for the fact that I really do like to know that kind of stuff, of course I'm going to watch The Last of Us stuff. So I think, right now, we've gotten enough of The Last of Us. I don't want to see anymore. Ghost of Tsushima, though, that's a game I'm willing to see a lot of. I'm willing to say, like, hey, you show us a ton of this game. In fact, don't feel like you're ever going to show us too much. I want you just to show us it, because really it is in a situation where I think everybody involved knows that they have something to prove, that, like, yeah, they failed with Second Son. I think First Light was really, really good. I think it was a step in the right direction. I think they should have done another Infamous and righted the wrongs that they had done. But, like, I'll take Ghost of Tsushima. The idea behind it looks amazing or sounds amazing. A lot of the things they showed us looked like it needed a lot of polish, but it did look really, really good. So I'm excited for it, but I want to see more. And the fact that they haven't talked about it almost at all, and they haven't shown us almost anything of it, tells me, like, we're going to get that ramp up, that in the spring we are going to see it again, that, like, the leak, the rumors are going to be true. We're going to see it again, and it'll tell us. The question is, are we going to get the release date then? If they say do a conference or a whole media event in February, and they talk about the PS5. Maybe they don't show it, but they talk about it. They say it's coming out in the fall. Like, we already technically know. They already have they have confirmed, like on Twitter, they have confirmed it's fall of 2020. Like, it is going to happen. But maybe they give us a month. Maybe they actually do show us the PlayStation. Maybe they show us the controller. But what do they, like, and again, following the leak, they're probably going to talk about Ghost of Tsushima or show it to us again. What do they do with it after that? Do they give us a release date? Do they say, like, I don't think they... Well, firstly, if it comes out on next gen, they can't give us a release date, because they'll announce the release date of the PS5 first. The game is not going to go ahead of the console. So, in terms of, like, priorities of them saying it. So, if it comes out, like, launch day, which I feel like would be something that you could do. Because, again, like, throughout this entire time, I've always held with my prediction that Horizon Zero Dawn 2 would be their launch thing. I feel like they kind of walked themselves into a good situation where now they could have Ghost of Tsushima be a launch day thing. They don't need to rush Horizon. If they were rushing it, they don't need to rush it. Horizon could kind of be that Infamous thing for the PS4. Remember, Infamous came out in February? 4 months after PS4 came out, we got Infamous in the early 2020. I think Horizon is probably going to be that for PlayStation 5. I think originally it probably would have been tried to come out in the holiday season, like Killzone Shadowfall did. So do we get the release date is basically the question. Do we get the release date that day? I don't know. They could just say it's going to launch with the PS5, and it'll be a dual release. It'll also come out on PS4. And then we wait till E3. They give us the release date of the PS5 at E3, and then we all kind of know, oh, okay, that's when Ghost of Tsushima is coming out. I feel like that is an easier way to do it. I do feel like that would be kind of big. It'd be like, hey, I don't know if they would want to be honest with us, because if they ever tell us that Ghost of Tsushima was kind of made with the PS5 in mind, I would call their bluff and I'd say they're lying to us, because I really don't think like, yeah, they knew about the PS5 and they knew that it would be right around the time of their game, but I don't think Sucker Punch from the beginning, after Second Son, after First Light, were going to just develop a PS5 game. I think their full intention was to get this game out still on current gen, and then they would make their next gen game. So if they try and sell us that this was always kind of imagined for PS5, I'm not going to buy that. It just so happens that it may also come out on PS5. But I think, I feel like it's possible. I feel like in that February, whenever that event is where they talk about the PS5, I think it's possible they tell us that Ghost is coming out the same day. That it's a launch day game, and then when at E3 we get the release date for the PS5, that's when Ghost of Tsushima's release date will come out as well. So I feel like that's the strategy they're going. I really don't see this game coming out anywhere but fall of 2020. If it comes out in fall of 2020, it's not going to be just PS4. It's not going to come out in September. It's not going to come out in early October. It's going to be, that late October, early November. It'll be PS5 and PS4. That's my opinion. But guys, let me know in the comments below. When do you think we're getting the release date for Ghost of Tsushima? And when do you think it's releasing? Do you think it's PS5, PS4, both? Let me know. Make sure you guys subscribe to our YouTube channel podcast now. Hit that bell icon so you guys know when these videos go up. And thank you, as always, for watching. And I hope to see you all on the next video.